Out! You understand? Nazis are not welcome here. Out.
Sick people. Sick people. Unbelievable. We're living in a takeover, a total takeover of the government with their thugs, goons, the brown shirts, the Gestapo wannabe dictators coming to the church armed with guns and tasers and handcuffs to intimidate during Passover celebration. Well, I guess that's what it is. They want to enslave us all like the Egyptians did. They want to be pharaohs of today. That's what they're doing. Unbelievable. People, if you will not wake up, stand up, wow, I don't know what is going to happen tomorrow if Canadians will not rise up. Look what is happening in Germany. Germany is taken over by fascism again. The wannabe Hitlers are already ruling. You cannot even leave from one city to another. It's a total lockdown. If you will not be vaccinated like a dog or a cat, you will not be able to buy or sell. You will not be able to go to school or work. Is that the future you want? Is that what you want for your children and your grandchildren? Friends, you gotta join the fight. We have rallies. We are meeting every week and we need numbers. We need to stand up against them, and we need to, if we don't do it now, I don't think we're going to have tomorrow. Our rights are being taken away from us so quickly, it's unbelievable. The Gestapo.
Well, as some of you know, as some of you don't know, if you've heard my name or read anything on me in the media, I grew up in a cult, and it was a very famous cult called Children of God, and it gave me a superpower. It gave me the ability to see the control and the propaganda machine, especially in the U.S., for what it is and how it harms people, and how the left can harm people just as much as the right if they go very, very deep into it and ignore all other aspects of kind of reality in a way, and that you're serving a master that might not be serving you. And I always say I come in peace. I am not here to make people feel bad about their political choices, but I am here to say that you might be in a cult too if you don't know the signs. And I do believe Democrats most especially are in a deep cult that they really don't and know about and aren't really aware of. And I leave the Republicans alone more because I do respect people more that are like, this is what we are, this is what we're about, this is what we're against. Whereas I find that the Democrats are really pretty much almost against all the same things. They're against changing the world for the better, and they're for keeping a system in place that is for so few people and benefits so few, but they masquerade as the helpers. We would do this. The world would be perfect if only those Republicans would get out of the way. Well, okay, you've got control. So now what? What are you going to do to make the world better?
You see, this is...
I did an interview on Fox News.
it causes such a cognitive dissonance. As someone who was, at least basically from when I set foot in America, a Democrat, because that's what my mother was, never question it. Fox is the enemy. And tonight they'll run with, Rose Mcgowan says Democrats are in a cult. But I also said Republicans were too. If you lean deep into anything and refuse to hear anything else, and you're serving a master that there's no evidence is serving you, then maybe you're in a cult. And that was my message. And the fact that I got to say that on Fox News, both sides are so fucked, and both propagandists, both sides of the media. The fact that Fox News let someone like me on, that's a humanist, that's trying to break shit down and help deprogram people from cults they're not aware they're in, is pretty fucking extraordinary. All I want to do is spread the message that we're better than we have to be. So keep going, deprogram yourself, fight, get the fuck out if you're not already, and keep going if you are. But I know
having lived in the United States in the past for a very long time, what outsiders may not realize is that, there's not even weather covered in any other country other than theirs. There's no news in the US that involves outside anything from the US. The US is it. It is very insular, and that's why I consistently allege that the United States is a cult. It keeps its nation in fear, and it does that through media programming and tech company programming in lockstep together. Now, the thing
calling for in America right now are truth tellers, people who are willing to go beyond ideological, in this post-ideological moment that we're in right now. I truly believe that we're in this 1776 moment. So, she's speaking truth to power when she says, she calls out Kamala Harris for promoting, with, of all people, Bill Clinton, of all things, women's and girls' empowerment. She went against Hollywood. I mean, listen, you can't cross those kinds of ideological lines in Hollywood. They have very strict enforcement, probably stricter than even on college campuses. And so you and I also don't fit into very neat boxes for what we're supposed to think as women, me as a minority, and you as a lesbian. And so I think all of these things are very interesting. And we're seeing this moment where people, truth tellers, whether it's Rose Mcgowan or Naomi Wolf, you or I, coming together, putting aside our policy preferences and saying, this is a moment to stand for free speech.
See, that's what they don't want. That's what threatens the left. That is the problem.
Right.
Of all of us
exactly
realizing how much we have in common, and that happens, of course, if someone like Rose speaks up, because then we think, oh, well, wait a minute, we can relate to her. This is the thing that makes us all Americans and all understanding what we're facing as a country as well, let alone as women.
Right. Yes, if you care about free speech, if you're worried about your health liberty in this pandemic moment, if you're worried that we're turning into a surveillance snitch culture that's kind of communist Chinese style. If you're worried about the fact that many of our health bureaucrats are compromised by their relationships with big pharma, there's all kinds of things going on right now for us to agree on, because this is not about party. This is right now, this is how sad and how badly the freedom moment we're living in right now is that we have to come together because of America, not because of our parties. If you love America, this is your moment to tell the truth, to speak up, to have courage, and not be afraid of big tech. Now, and of course, by the way, Tammy, they're doing all the things they always do to those truth tellers. They're not only shadow banning us and canceling us, they're calling us crazy, conspiracy theorists. It's the new racist, by the way.
I'm going to recommend, here's